Hi, this is Jeremiah Nelson, and I am making my next contribution to the Entrepreneur's Toolbox, Annual Reporting and Filing for 501c3 Nonprofit Organizations. The place to begin when learning about the responsibilities associated with annual reporting and filing for nonprofits is stayexempt.irs.gov. We will cover in this section of this screencast record keeping, annual filings, and public disclosures. Here on stayexempt.irs.gov, you can find a host of resources to support you in your endeavor to maintain your nonprofit status. By clicking on existing organizations, you can see a host of courses that the IRS has prepared in order to help you navigate some of the more challenging situations that you might face. There's also in-depth topics and a resource library. You should keep detailed records, including records you'd probably want to keep for any business. For example, you're required to keep books and records detailing all activities, both financial and non-financial. The publication 4221 PC, Compliance Guide for 501c3 Public Charities, has information on why you need to keep records, what records you should keep, and how long to keep your records. Publication 4221 PC, Compliance Guide for 501c3 Public Charities, can be found on the IRS website. It includes a host of support items that you're able to reference in order to ensure that your record keeping is accurate and that you are meeting all of the guidelines and requirements for nonprofits. Information about why you should keep records, what records should be kept, and how long they should be kept are detailed here in this publication. Included in this document is information about annual filing, including which forms you need to file and when. You'll notice that it says the filing dates for your tax returns as a nonprofit must be made by the 15th day of the 5th month after the end of the organization's annual accounting period. That would mean that if your annual accounting period ends December 31st, that you would need to make sure that you have submitted your paperwork by the 15th of May. If you operate on a calendar that ends, say, June 30th, then you would want to make sure that your information is submitted 5 months later on the 15th day. Which form you need to fill out is also detailed here based on your gross receipts on a normal basis. So if you typically have gross receipts less than $50,000, you're going to fill out the 990N. If your gross receipts are typically more than $50,000 but less than $200,000, with total assets that are less than $500,000, then you'll fill out the 990EZ or the 990. And if your gross receipts are generally more than $200,000 and or your total assets are more than $500,000, you're going to want to fill out the 990 form. For small organizations, the 990N is a very brief electronic postcard. The image you see before you is an example, where you're literally confirming contact information and that your gross receipts are normally $50,000 or less. This must be filed electronically only. The 990EZ, also known as the short form, as you can see here, is quite a bit more sophisticated in terms of the accounting and record keeping required and reported. This is much more significant in terms of the detail of contributions, membership dues, money lost or gained, grants received, as well as rent and other revenue generated. The Form 990 is the full income tax form for nonprofit organizations. In addition to the information that you submit with the 990EZ, there is a number of additional categories and schedules that one would need to complete, as these are the most complex and large nonprofit organizations. The good news is, when completing your tax forms, you are not alone. The IRS has completed a whole resource and tools page to support you as you prepare your Form 990. Regardless of which category you fit into, there is a host of resources available. One important detail: as a nonprofit, public disclosures are required. There are certain records that need to be made public upon request. These include your Form 990s for the previous 3 years, and your 990T if more than $1,000 was from unrelated business revenue in the last 3 years. These items need to be available at your primary office during regular hours, and anyone making those requests can do so in writing or in person. Additional information can be found at the Public Disclosure and Availability Requirements page on the IRS website. Record-keeping requirements extend beyond just revenue and tax information. It is important as a nonprofit that you maintain all of your record-keeping related to employment taxes, public disclosure requirements, and other compliance issues. For more information, visit stayexempt.irs.gov and go to Existing Organizations. Here you can see that resource page and the various courses available to support you, available on irs.gov, stayexempt.irs.gov. Here you can see that resource page, including all of the courses that the IRS has developed to support you on stayingexempt.irs.gov. The good news is, you are not alone, and the IRS is here to help you and offers just an incredible amount of information in videos and support materials and publications to ensure that if you're willing to take the time and do the research, all of the answers can be found, and if you can't find it, you can always call them and ask the question. I hope this screencast has proven helpful, and I hope that your nonprofit has a long and happy life.